last night for an indefinite period, and Lieutenant General DeWitt, commanding the Fourth Army of the United States, announced that last night's blackout was unsatisfactory. Death and destruction at any moment is now a possibility for an indefinite time as far as this coast is concerned, he said. Last night's air raid warning was not a practice warning, and why they did not bomb San Francisco...
Too much darkness everywhere, Brenda.
James, you never know when some light might shine through.
From the music to the costume, the location, the general air of the actors, I was like, yes, we are absolutely in this time period, and let's see how those elements in this historical context affects their love story. Such sweet chemistry and joy between the two, and really excellent casting on our hotel proprietors. I think those moments of lightness and levity and joy and love ultimately helped make that longing, helped make the fear, helped make that concern that much more palpable and that much richer, because they bought us in and won me, and had me pulled by the heartstrings. Yeah, I really thought that we got the full roller coaster of emotions, and some really important themes too, including like the fear of separation and the newness of love, the threat of war and the unknown, and also the differences of cultures as well, and sharing it through that lens. So I think placing it through this young couple was a brilliant way to do so.
I think this short from the beginning creates tension through the looming presence of war in historical context that threatens our protagonists and threatens to infringe on their interracial marriage that is between a white soldier and an American-born Chinese girl. And I think throughout this short, even when we see our protagonist, our male protagonist, confront the impacts of war via watching him encounter another soldier who's been badly injured from a war and noticing that this could be his life and what he puts his wife through. I think that we see love and compassion from his wife and from him. And it seems like that is the remedy to be in the moment and to really grapple with this and to have a support system that helps do this. And I think there were a lot of really tender moments throughout this film that are captured through movement, whether that's like the exchange of tea or the slow dancing or the way that they just like caress each other and hold each other, especially in moments of, moments of doubt and moments of anxiety and worry. I think what we're left with is that these two people really understand each other and are really able to affirm one another. And I think that's very tender and it's very sweet.
Given the historical time frame, like socially, society doesn't accept this relationship. So they have these moments in the here and now, and that's where they can capture their love. I think something about that makes it so much more impactful when you see this relationship on screen, because you know that time is fleeting and these moments of love are fleeting. And I think that's acted out really, really well. And I think you show this love story in a really compassionate way, but you also raise the stakes and present these many different reasons why this is such a fleeting moment. I think it was shot really well. I think it's a really beautiful message.
A really great sense of sort of self-awareness towards not just the style of the piece or the aesthetic of the time period, but just sort of the acting approach that allowed for both a humoristic approach and sort of a surprising level of emotional depth between the dynamic of the between the two lead characters. I thought produced a dynamic that made the the piece endearing. Overall, I like the sort of what they were able to do with the setting and the location. I thought they made the piece feel a lot bigger than maybe the location itself might have been. And I thought that just the range of the acting quality, not just the younger characters, but obviously the older characters, I thought gave a really great balance and sense of sort of whimsy and wonder, also a little bit grounded in enough reality to make the characters feel three-dimensional. So I thought the piece had a good sense of style, a good sense of humor, especially given the period and just sort of a commitment to the bit in terms of style and performance that I thought really came through well.
The piece sets the period up, with the combination of costuming, style of dialogue, but really it uses the radio as exposition to kind of give us information as an audience that is not in the dialogue. For example, the warnings about Americans assuming Chinese Americans are Japanese, and some being wrongfully arrested and sent to internment camps. We hear that right at the beginning. So it sets the stage of what this couple was dealing with in the reality. And also answers questions as far as her background, and how she's particularly probably viewed during this time. One of the things that really stood out to me was the choice to have the couple upstairs in the honeymoon suite that they eventually meet midway through be another veteran, but a veteran who has clearly seen the worst sides of war, has lost a limb, he has some scarring in his face, he's obviously recently traumatized for his experience during this war. And you have the other newly enlisted, hasn't yet been stationed, hope for the world guy over here. And so kind of seeing them interact, it really does cause a shift. And even with the wives, there's the one who is still nervous about what's to come, and you have the one who's gone through it and has experienced it. So that stark difference really comes to pass, and it takes the piece from this very light and airiness of we're dancing, we're happy to have this honeymoon, to the harsh reality of, oh, this is what it is.
That subtle racism in the beginning where anyone who was considered Japanese was persecuted, but because, again, the racism, anyone who looked remotely Asian was immediately judged, which is kind of ironic, seeing fast forward to today's day and age, and you see something similar that happened with the COVID pandemic. Then you go into just the fear and terror of war. Like these two are 18, like fresh out of school. Like, bluntly speaking, they're still kids. Legally 18, you're always dubbed as an adult, but there's so much more that you have left to experience, and there's that fear of this might be the last time they see each other. It's all very interesting, just seeing all of that culminated into this short about these two lovers consummating their marriage, and this might be their last happy night.
The whole atmosphere that was created in this time period with the costumes and the acting and the set design, the location in the opening with the black and white footage, I just thought it was really cool and creative. And I really felt like I was there in that time and place. Great opening music, just beautiful cinematography and the colors that were used in this. Great costumes and set design, like I said. Nice editing. I noticed that. There was some great editing here. Just beautiful music. I really liked the overhead with the tea. That was super cute. really nice acting and commitment by these actors to their characters. I thought every single person in this was so great. Somebody that stood out to me was the lead actress. I just felt like she really committed and made it real for me. And the things that they were going through, I really liked the script a lot. I thought it was very realistic, and I liked when they were in the bathroom with the couch, just that whole, everything they were going through together before he goes off to war. So bittersweet.